Life is a big school. We all have to learn.
In the world of Greek mythology, there was no hero greater than Hercules, the son of Zeus, and a mortal woman named Alcmene. With his godly strength and unwavering courage, Hercules battled monsters, completed impossible tasks, and even challenged the gods themselves. From his birth to his tragic end, Hercules' story is a tale of glory, tragedy, and redemption. Join us now as we delve into the epic journey of one of the greatest heroes of all time. Amidst thunder and the presence of the gods, an important event was about to take place. A child from the lineage of Perseus was to be born, and tonight was the night. The gods were called upon to bless this hero's descendants. The messenger of the gods requested Zeus, the king of gods and mortals, to grant a worthy gift for the child of Perseus, who is from the lineage of the hero who defeated the monster Medusa and was Zeus's offspring. Zeus was pleased to hear the request and declared to the other gods that Hera's words were wise, and therefore the child of Perseus would be a great king and ruler of all the sacred land of Greece. Zeus granted him a boon, and Hera spoke up, doubting Zeus's sincerity. She reminded Zeus of his failed promises and urged him to fulfill his promise if he truly loved the child of Perseus. Zeus, happy with Hera's words, granted the child a great boon. However, he fell into Hera's trap in doing so. Hera declared to all the gods present that a child of Perseus would be born that night, and whoever is born first would become a great and powerful king, worthy of his lineage. Hera knew that the child born first would not be Zeus's offspring. Zeus was enraged, but he could not go back on his word. Prior to Alcmene's wedding, Zeus had disguised himself as her husband and had relations with her. A prophecy then foretold that Alcmene would bear two sons, one of Zeus and one of Amphitryon. Zeus believed that his son would be born first, but he was outsmarted by Hera, who quickly went to Argos, where Sthenelus and Nisipe lived. Sthenelus, the grandson of Perseus, was married to Nisipe, who was pregnant with his child. Hera made sure that Nisipe gave birth first, knowing that this would make Sthenelus' child the future king. Zeus, however, was not without his own cunning. He knew that Hera would try to thwart him, so he had a plan. One day, while Hera was fast asleep, he ordered Hermes to come down to earth and carry the infant Hercules up to heaven. Hermes gently placed Hercules into Hera's lap to suckle because the milk of a goddess was believed to be immortal, and by drinking it, Hercules would become immortal too. However, Hera suddenly woke up and pushed the baby away from her lap, even though he had almost finished nursing. Hercules was forced to stop suckling from Hera's breast, and a stream of milk flowed from her breast and flooded the sky, creating a white veil that we now call the Milky Way. Hercules was no longer able to nurse from Hera and was given to Alcmene, who bore him and his twin brother Iphicles. Zeus was furious with Hera and punished her by banning her daughter, Ate, from returning to Mount Olympus. And so Hercules, the hero of Greece, was born. As usual, after the child fell asleep, Alcmene placed Hercules and Iphicles together in a cradle. On that fateful night, the goddess Hera sent two snakes to coil and kill the infant. The snakes slithered into the room and crawled into the cradle, approaching the two babies. Iphicles cried out in terror while Alcmene woke up at the commotion. When she saw the snakes writhing in the cradle with her children, she screamed in fear, calling for help. People came running with torches, and what they saw was a strange sight. Hercules, only 10 months old, sitting in the cradle, holding the snakes by their necks while they convulsed and died. Seeing the potential in his son, Amphitryon invited the seer Tiresias to predict Hercules' fate. The seer prophesied that Hercules would accomplish great feats and be welcomed into the world of the Olympian gods. Amphitryon and Alcmene were thrilled and sought out the best teachers to instruct their son. Hercules learned various skills from the best teachers, including how to drive a chariot from Amphitryon, martial arts from the hero Autolycus, archery from Eurytos, music from Eumolpos and Linos, and science from Chiron, the half-man, half-horse god. However, he was less passionate about music and science. One day, his music teacher Linos scolded him for not memorizing his lesson, and it was said that the teacher became so angry that he hit Hercules. In response, Hercules grabbed a staff and struck Linos, accidentally killing him. This was a serious crime, and Amphitryon was terrified. Hercules was brought to trial and acquitted under the law written by Rhadamanthus. Whoever is hit in any situation has the right to hit back. However, Amphitryon remained anxious about raising this son of Zeus. To prevent future problems, Hercules' father took him to live in a rural village. He hoped that country life, with its sheep, horses, and music, would help calm his son's restless nature and be more suited to his free-spirited personality. Hercules lived in the Cithaeron region and spent his days herding cattle. He regularly practiced martial arts with his staff, especially enjoying using a club that was so heavy that even the bravest heroes had never dared to use it. Hercules grew up with extraordinary strength and good health. By the age of 18, he was over 4 cubits tall, with a well-proportioned and muscular body that made him an impressive sight. At 18, Hercules once again showed his bravery by defeating a fierce lion that had been terrorizing the nearby Boeotian city of Thespiae and causing significant losses to the livestock of Amphitryon and King Thespius. The task took him 49 days, but he eventually killed the beast and brought its carcass back to the city. King Thespius was so grateful that he offered Hercules the hand of his daughter in marriage. However, to everyone's surprise, he offered not just one daughter, but all 50 of them. Hercules accepted the offer and performed 50 weddings over the course of 50 days, resulting in many children and grandchildren. After this great feat, Hercules went on to lift a heavy annual tax burden from the people of Thebes, which had been imposed on them as a result of an unfortunate incident. During a festival honoring Poseidon, a Theban chariot accidentally killed Clymenus, the king of the Minions of Orchomenus. The king's son, Erginus, led an army to seek revenge, and Thebes had to make peace by paying 100 cows in tribute each year for 20 years. One day, Hercules encountered a group of tax collectors from Orchomenus on the road to Thebes. Knowing the situation, he became angry and attacked the group, leaving them severely injured. He cut off their hands, sliced their noses, tied them to a rope around their necks, and ordered them to leave the land immediately. Erginus, the ruler of Orchomenus, infuriated by this action, led his army to punish Thebes. However, this time, under the leadership of Hercules, the Theban army won a decisive victory. Erginus was killed in battle by Hercules. Nevertheless, Hercules suffered a significant loss too. Amphitryon, his stepfather, was mortally wounded in the fight. Orchomenus, having been defeated, had to pay double the tax that they had previously imposed on Thebes every year. The happiest person was King Creon, who ruled Thebes. As a reward for his heroic deeds, the king gave Hercules his daughter Megara in marriage. The life of the couple, Hercules and Megara, passed happily and lovingly. Megara was a gentle and beautiful woman who lived in harmony with Hercules and gave birth to 8 children. But one day, a terrible tragedy befell their family out of nowhere. Hercules suddenly went insane, suffering from a bizarre madness that he had never experienced before. He held his head and roared, his eyes glaring and foam oozing from his mouth like an animal. He ran around everywhere, holding a knife, and killed both his wife and children, including the grandchildren of Iphicles, his brother. When he regained his senses, Hercules was extremely frightened by his crime. When he inquired, he was told that it was the revenge of Hera. She still hated Zeus's son from another woman, even though Zeus had promised her that Hercules would serve Eurystheus for 12 years as a slave. From then on, Hercules' family happiness came to an end. He is a criminal who has destroyed his family. How can he be redeemed and cleanse his sins? Hercules only knew of the Delphi temple to seek guidance from the god Apollo.
O Hercules, the mighty son of Zeus, you must return to your homeland of Tiryns and serve Eurystheus for 12 years. During those 12 years you will face 12 great trials. If you can overcome those trials and achieve great feats, your family's reputation will be known throughout the heavens. The Olympian gods will see your family as a blessed divine entity and grant you privileges, freeing you from the mortal fate of human beings. Your family will become immortal gods worthy of the glory of Zeus, the king of the gods."
Hercules thanked the god with his silver bow and left, contemplating Apollo's advice. From that moment on, Hercules embarked on a difficult and challenging journey.